playoffs roll on. It's Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinals on EA Sports. From downtown Milwaukee, tonight, it's the hometown Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Seated next to Jay Williams, I'm Ed Cohen. Jay, you look at the Sixers coming into play. They held their ground in the first two games at their place. Now the test begins as they take the 2-0 lead on the road.
And you know, the first two games held the form. But now the series shifts. So this crowd is going to need to give them everything they can for an advantage. Even though this isn't a must-win, they need to play like it is because you don't want to be down 3-0.
Fires the three. His first effort off the mark.
Shooters shoot. Period. I don't want to hear any excuses. That's why you're on the floor. You keep doing what you're doing with that superior confidence.
Count the basket. 2 more points in the paint.
Man, that may not have been a gimme, but that layup at the rim definitely chips away at the pride of the defense.
Giannis in control of the basketball. Just getting started in Game 3. Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers.
I'm hearing some boos from the crowd. They know just like I know you're not getting back on D.
Bledsoe with the basketball. Down just a couple. Trying to take it all the way, but it's no good. Embiid. Oh, great defense there, forcing the pickup. The Bucks at the controls. Bledsoe to Antetokounmpo. Sizing up the defense. Giannis for 2. Count the basket.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
In the front court comes Simmons. He'll run the offense. Tough make through traffic.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Bledsoe to Antetokounmpo. To Middleton. Giannis for 2. Deep 2 there, won't go.
And that's how you close out on a shooter with a sense of urgency. The shooter was more worried about his landing space than he was the shot.
Bucks basketball. Antetokounmpo to Middleton. Knocks it down from mid-range.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
Here's Simmons with it up top. Leads a bucket. It's a big finish.
It's easy to become mesmerized when you watch a player who can create off the dribble. We call that dancing. When you allow a player to dance with that much space, that's Prob City.
Middleton to Antetokounmpo. Short jumper off the mark. Add 2 points to the board.
Clearly not afraid of the spotlight here because that was not an easy look.
Giannis with it up top. 10-4 is the score. Here comes the screen. Antetokounmpo to Lopez. And count the basket.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Simmons with it. Looking to make something happen. Whoa! What a finish!
I know this for a fact, Ed. Ben Simmons wanted to channel his inner Bill Russell during the NBA Awards as he stood up on that stage accepting that Rookie of the Year trophy, looking down at all the people that hated on him and didn't think that after a year of being injured that he can come back and be the one that everybody thought he could be. One of only 7 players in NBA history to lead his team to 50-plus wins while accepting the Rookie of the Year trophy.
Some lineup changes now for both clubs. Joel Embiid Sends it away. That's out. Last touch by Joel Embiid. George Hill. And he's going to the line to shoot.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Wesley Matthews at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 82%. Knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Simmons with it. The score 12-8. Brook Lopez rejects it.
Just erasing mistakes left and right.
To Hill. Joel Embiid with the block. Oh, too much contact. Free throws on the way.
And the reality is that good jump shooters know how to get those calls. Overall, though, there's less flopping in the game, which is great. But there's something uncanny about certain players' abilities to get those calls on a regular basis.
And gets both to drop at the line. It's in the hands of Philadelphia. Brook Lopez sends it away.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
Shot from the lane won't go. Richardson. Oh, bad pass, and the Bucks have it. To Adetokunbo. Sixers have it. Embiid. No good. Defense catching a break there. To Lopez. Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers. Simmons. 4-3. That's off the side of the rim. Short.
Great contest by the D, but I want to see the coaching staff call the same exact play the next possession. Get that offensive player the ball. Let him prove that it wasn't the D. It was more in his own head.
To Richardson. Nothing going here on that drive. Richardson. To Simmons. To Tobias Harris. From long range. They snuffed it out. Tobias Harris missed it.
Just because you're an elite shooter doesn't mean you need to shoot the ball every possession. Maybe give a head fake, crack into the defender, get to the free throw line, see the ball go in the hole.
To Lopez. Good look that time, but off the mark. Harris to Horford. There it is, Al Horford. Missed his first. That one goes.
Had a difficult first quarter. Couldn't really find his rhythm, but you got 3 more left to play.
Here comes the screen. Nice pass to get things going. Brook Lopez able to recover with the block. That's his 3rd block this evening. That's the end of one here in game number 3. Back with more after this. It's the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs on EA Sports. Good start to this one. After 1 quarter play, on to the second period. Jay, neither team was able to get control to start this one.
I really like what I'm seeing. Both teams look engaged. There's some trash talking going on the court. I think this has a making to be a big-time game.
And scores.
Bodies bouncing all around on that layup with the offense winning that battle. But if the defense keeps up that kind of pressure, good things are bound to happen.
To George Hill. Screen coming. Hill to Middleton. Here's a chance from long range. Off the mark. Picked up by the Bucks. Finishing inside the paint on that one. Sixers control it. Over to the right side. Nothing going here on that drive. Five on the shot clock for Philadelphia. Now a steal by Milwaukee. To Bledsoe. Trey Burke with a piece. Out of bounds the call. Last touch by Trey Burke. We have both squads set to make some moves right now. George Hill. To Gasol. Now Gasol. He's finally on the board. Makes his first shot.
Ooh, if I had that kind of vertical, I'd be throwing it off the glass and showing out. But the coaching staff is probably okay with an easy lay right there.
To Richardson. Lets it fly from long range. Josh Richardson is going to get a chance at three here. For his career, 78% at the line. First one, counted. Knocks down the second free throw. And he hits all three free throws. Bledsoe with it up top. They're down three. To Hill. Bledsoe to Gasol. From the outside, no good.
Misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you in the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
Nothing going here on that drive. Off the penetration, almost, but no good.
And you see so many players quit on a play after they were beat the first time, but not him. He stayed on his hip, he fought back, and he made the player miss the shot. That's great defense.
Bledsoe to Gasol. Now Gasol. He is shooting well. He's made 2/3 of his shots.
You know what I like about this pass play? Instead of putting his head down and forcing the action, he patiently waited for the play to develop.
No good, but two shots coming up for Joel Embiid.
I don't know about that one, Ed. I always thought your hand was part of the ball.
Joel Embiid, a couple of free throws on the way. For his career, 77% at the line. First one goes down. Good free throw shooting. Knocks down a pair. Bucks at the controls. To Adetokunbo. Surveys the floor. Giannis Adetokunbo. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Giannis Antetokounmpo tips it.
Just incredible timing on that swap.
Antetokounmpo. Sixers with the rebound. Embiid to Tobias Harris. Pau Gasol. Huge block.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
To Bledsoe. Has a look. Bledsoe shot misses. Richardson to Tobias Harris. All by himself. Creates his own shot there.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
Giannis in control of the basketball. Down 3. Bledsoe to Antetokounmpo. They work it down to Gasol. Pau Gasol. That's 3 now on 4 shots.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
Sixers have the basketball. Simmons to Embiid. Old school. Backs his man down for the basket.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
To Bledsoe. Antetokounmpo to Gasol. And a throwdown.
And when you get your prescription, you take your medicine and you call it a day.
Simmons into the front court. Under a minute to go before halftime. Stuffs it down with authority.
See, these are the type of opportunities the defense doesn't take advantage of. When that guy went up for that dunk, he cradled the ball to gain momentum. As soon as he brings that ball back to you in the cradle, you have to have active hands get in there, strip that ball away.
Both coaches hitting the reset button. Fresh legs coming onto the floor. Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's no good.
The contest was good, but you being a nuisance was great. Continue to be that gnat that no matter how many times you swing at it, it never goes away.
Bledsoe with the basketball. The margin is 3 as we approach halftime. He throws it down.
If you didn't dunk that, then we would have to talk about it.
Into the front court comes Simmons. He'll run the offense. And they call the foul. Jay, he was there too late.
Great job, Ed, by the shooter to create contact after the jump. That's how you get to the free throw line.
Ben Simmons has got 2 shots coming. 56% for his career. First free throw is good. So he hits the first, misses the second. Trying to cash in. Wide open look, won't go.
I hate that that one didn't go down. You much rather go into half with a tie ball game than having a deficit.
Long key from 3/4 court. So the 2 teams will head to the locker room as we reach the break here in game number 3. Let's get you to our NBA Live studios in Orlando and hand it over to Jalen Rose for our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
It's Jalen Rose. and I've got your EA Sports halftime report. The 76ers are in a tight battle after 2 quarters. It's obvious how these guys score the majority of their points, and that's in the paint. They did a great job of scoring down low. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bucks aren't down by too much at the half. And even though they don't have the lead, they're doing a great job of moving the ball around. They might find themselves on the winning end of the scoreboard if they can keep it up. These are the guys getting buckets for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Game track. Steals.
Some very aggressive defense has allowed both teams to rack up a lot of steals. Ball security will be the key in the upcoming half, especially for the weakest dribblers. You know who you are.
Player of the half.
Joel Embiid has been a defensive force in this matchup. If he's not stealing the ball, he's swatting it. And that combination has made for an incredible half.
Who was cold?
No one wants to be picked for this segment, but he couldn't avoid it. Maybe he'll turn things around in the second half. Here we go with the top plays from the first half.
Number 2. Number 1.
And that concludes our halftime report. Thanks for joining us, and see you again after the game.
Harris for 3. Rebounds pulled in by the Bucks. Middleton to Adetokunbo. Fires the 3, and the rebound pulled down by Simmons. Josh Richardson, it's been a quiet night. Only 3 attempts, but he makes that one stick.
Attack mode isn't a switch that you can just turn on and off. He needs to do more of that. We need to see him penetrate, get into that lane, and create.
Middleton to Adetokunbo. Middleton buries it on the catch and shoot.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Lopez pins it. Ooh, 5 now. Bucks at the controls.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Short jumper won't fall.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
Bledsoe. Brook Lopez. He's 3 of 5. 60% shooting from the field.
Oh, man, you're not supposed to be able to do that with that size. But in today's game, dexterity and mobility are off the charts for bigs.
And finishes strong.
As a rookie last year, Ben Simmons averaged 16 points a game and posted 12 triple-doubles, the second most by any rookie in NBA history. Or was last year really his rookie year? We can debate that one later.
Had a chance, but it's no good. Here's Simmons with it up top. His team up by 1. Richardson to Tobias Harris. Going to launch beyond the arc. They snuffed it out. Tobias Harris missed it. Giannis with it up top. Looking to make something happen. Matthews to Middleton. Beyond the arc for 3. And Chris Middleton good on the quick release that time.
I know the refs on the court all the time, but it doesn't mean they can see every play. Maybe defensively, grab his jersey, step on his toe, do something to kind of change up his pace.
Simmons driving, but his shot no good. Bledsoe with it up top. 2-point advantage. Adetokunbo to Middleton. Just enough of a head fake to help on that one.
And the true test of a team's character is how they respond when they get hit in the mouth. Keep digging.
Count the bucket for 2.
Did you see the way that dribble freed him up? It created so much space. I did, but the defender didn't.
Giannis in control of the basketball. Lead is 2. Add 2 points to the board.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
To Embiid. Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
And I love the smile on the face of the offensive player. Sometimes luck is on your side. I don't know how that shot went in, but and one.
Joel Embiid at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. Hasn't missed yet. The free throw is good. It's back to a 1-point game. Greek Freak for 2. Rebound Horford. Burke with it. His guys now down by a point. And the reward, he's going to the line.
The game is too tight for you to be taking risks like that. You want to avoid foul trouble at all costs.
Trey Burke at the line for 2 shots. For his career, 79% at the line. And he connects on the first free throw. fails to hit them both. Hits the first, misses the second. Milwaukee with the basketball. Hill calls out of bounds. Last touch by George Hill. Coach is going to shift gears and adjust his matchups. Simmons with it. Tie game, third quarter. To Tobias Harris. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. He missed his first 4 from downtown. He finally gets a 3 to go.
I'm going to tell you what every shooter thinks after he misses 4 in a row. One has to go in eventually.
To George Hill. Had a good look there, but it's no good. Simmons to Embiid. Nice pass to set things up.
And cutting hard in transition is one of the most underrated things about this game. The harder you can cut is the more it opens up the floor to make plays just like that.
Adetokunbo to Middleton. Here comes the screen. Middleton. And scores. Strong take.
2 points. Take them any way you can get them.
Simmons with it. His guys can get a 2 for 1 if they time this out. Curling inside. Free throws coming up.
No, no, no. I'll tell you, the team that makes the little mistakes, like committing unnecessary reach-in fouls like that, will be the team that ends up with the L.
And hits the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2. Giannis with it up top. The deficit now up to 5. A drive to the basket, but it somehow stays out. Joel Embiid. He's now 4 for 6.
Well, he finished strong because he was able to initiate the contact. When you initiate the contact first, you bounce off the defender, which balances you at the rim.
Giannis shoots. That's the end of the third quarter. It's the Sixers out in front. The Bucks to inbound to start this final quarter. And I think the best way to describe where they stand right now is they're down, but they're not out.
It's a game we used to play in the league all the time. It's called a series of stops. That means get 3 stops in a row. Each game is a game within the game. You get 3 stops in a row, and then another 3 stops in a row, you're right back in this ballgame.
Time to shuffle things up. Harris to Simmons. And counted at the rim.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Bledsoe with the basketball. The margin standing now at 7. Spins and scores.
Bold. I'm sure his teammates and coaches were wondering why he'd do that now, but it worked.
And the basket good at the rim.
It just seems like nobody can stop him but him. Once he's found his offensive swag, that boy's deadly.
To Adetokunbo. Robin Lopez. Better late than never. That was his first shot, and it goes down.
It's really a dope thing when passing becomes infectious. But don't become overly passive. Still take your shots when they're there.
And he's fouled. Earns a trip to the foul line, Jay.
This drives me nuts when I see fouls like that being called in a close game. Sometimes you just got to let them play, ref.
Ben Simmons, couple of free throws on the way. Shooting 75% so far tonight. Knocks down the first. And he makes them both. Bledsoe with it up top. Right now, down 7. To Hill. Middleton to Lopez. Oh, had him going there for a second. Robin Lopez. Not a busy night, but effective. 2 for 2.
So many times you can tell if a player is going to finish before he even gets to the rim. Did you see that look on his face? That was a look of a three-point play. You always going in thinking you can get more at the rim.
Robin Lopez snatching it out of the air.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
Simmons to Tobias Harris. Fires the 3. That's good D. Shot no good. Middleton to Bledsoe. Nothing going here on that. Knocked away. It's getting dangerous down there.
And I hated getting my shot blocked like that, but I did like getting the ball right back.
Middleton. Out of bounds. Last touch by Eric Bledsoe. Simmons to Horford. Robin Lopez swats it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
Bledsoe to Lopez. Joel Embiid sends it away.
You know, sometimes basketball can become a very beautiful thing to watch. During the regular season, things can get difficult. Energy can be low. The passion at times can even be lower because players are tired. They're fatigued. But today, it's all been good. They're putting in an absolute show with killer efficiency and tremendous effort and intensity.
The Bucks at the controls. Bledsoe to Matthews. The pass set it all up.
And when plays like that happen with multiple players touching the ball, the basketball guys will 100% reward you.
Simmons into the front court. Leads 5. To Embiid. There it is, Al Horford. Tough shooting. Only 2 for 6 after that make.
Leadership's greatest values occur in between the lines and not necessarily in the box score. And that's the type of leader that Al Horford is. He's the first all-star free agent to choose Boston in decades. And let me tell you this, the legacy of greatness runs deep in the family. His father, Tito Horford, was the first Dominican basketball player to ever play in the league, which goes to show you why Al has such a great feel for the game.
Can't connect. Defense did its job that time.
You know, Ed, everybody gives so much credit to the guy who contested the shot, but there's no way he's in that position without the communication of the backbone of the defense. When you have a guy back there who can block shots and tells you to apply more pressure, you know you're in a safe place.
Oh, Jay, he commands the paint this time down.
Ooh, he teased me a little bit right there, but see, I like that. That's called a great entertainer. Always leaving me on the edge of my seat.
Middleton to Bledsoe. Joel Embiid rejects it. Picked up. Here we go. To Tobias Harris. Doesn't get the bounce. Bledsoe with the basketball. They trail by 7. To Matthews. Tough-looking shot there. Still gets it to go down.
I love the drive to the basket there. Instead of trying to go around or over, go through.
To Embiid. Lays it up and in.
This is where I go back into player mode. If a dude starts to try to have 40 points on me, I'm going to foul out. I'm going to start hitting him in places he's not used to being hit. I'm trying to do anything to throw him off this game.
Substitution being made in this one. Adetokunbo to Middleton. Drive here, but the shot stays out.
And one of the most underrated things in this game is quick lateral speed. Good job by utilizing that speed and taking away the lane.
Chris Middleton has got 2 shots coming. He's perfect from the line so far. First one, count it. Able to convert on both free throws. To Embiid. Nice finish at the rim.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
Gets it to go. Could have been more. A lot of contact, but no foul.
That's what I'm talking about, Ed. It's that simple. Put the ball in the bucket.
Embiid, good for 2.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammates look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
There it is, Al Horford. He's 3 for 7. He'll put it up at the buzzer. The Sixers are victorious. They've taken a commanding lead in this best-of-7 series. 3 games to none. 1 victory left. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been the NBA Playoffs on EA Sports. Find out more at easports.com. Until next time, good night.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The 76ers got the win in a nail-biter. No one should be surprised that we're highlighting all of the shots that were blocked in this contest. It's just amazing how one swat can fire up a team, and even their coach. What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored. For the Philadelphia 76ers, the Bucks are probably frustrated with themselves after such a narrow loss. The way they shot the ball was outstanding, but even still, it wasn't enough to get the result they wanted. More often than not, you're going to win games when you shoot the ball as well as they did here today.
Game track. Assists.
The teams in this matchup did a great job of moving the ball and keeping the game flowing. It was the sort of action fans love to see, and I definitely enjoyed it myself. The unselfish play made for a great game.
Player of the game.
Simmons seemed to think he could only score points with dunks in this game. Again and again, he kept throwing them down, and it was just astonishing.
Who was cold?
Every player that makes it to the NBA is a great athlete, but even the best players have their off nights. Today was just one of those days for this guy. Here are the top plays from the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
That does it for us. On behalf of the rest of the crew, good night.